Dave, the search for a motive continues after terrifying moments at the Potomac Avenue Metro Station this morning. A Metro employee was killed and 3 other people were injured after a series of shootings this morning in and around the Potomac Avenue Metro Station. The suspect is in custody tonight and the station has reopened.
This is not the first violent incident in and around public transportation in the past few months, and we have our Dave Lucas here now to bring in a little bit of perspective for us. Not only have you covered Metro, of course, for decades, you ride Metro every day, and I know you must have seen changes. Tell us sort of what you're seeing now and if you really have noticed a change because of the recent violence.
Well, what you see now if you ride Metro is there are now a lot more people back on the trains, and that's my area of expertise. I see buses, but I don't ride them, but I do ride Metro almost every day. And there are a lot more people coming back, and with a lot more people, originally it was a lot more fare jumpers, and I think that a lot of people felt very strongly about that, and they seem to have that under control. But I do think that there is a safety issue, or at least a safety perception on the part of a lot of people who ride Metro. I've asked a number of them when we're on trains, would you feel better if you saw more Metro cops? And the answer is universally yes. You'll hear people say, I see them in their cars, I don't see them in the stations. And I think if they were looking for a sort of outward and visible sign, that's one that, at least in my small sample size, I could say do that, and tomorrow there'd be a lot more acceptance and goodwill, I think, as a result.
And Dave, I think it's one thing for riders who see a story like this, but maybe it's not on their line. But when it hits home, I know you've witnessed a shooting. What was that like, and how does that change how you move about your day and your commute when you count on Metro?
I live downtown, and there's a safety perception, I think, on the part of some people. So it didn't affect me as much as if I had been living in the suburbs where things like that don't happen on a regular basis. On that afternoon that I was coming up out of the station, when there was that fatal shooting, on the other side, there are a couple of entrances to the station that I use most frequently. You could see the panic. People were running up the escalator to get out of the thing. There is no question that there's concern about this, and I think if Metro doesn't admit that, and sometimes I think they try to put a brave face on it, they should say, yes, we have a problem, we need to do something about it, and they need to be a little bit more proactive. And if they were looking for a suggestion, that would be mine.
Yeah. All right, Dave, thank you so much. And of course, today's extra sad when you think of this person who lost their life trying to help someone.
It's just, you would hope that someone would intervene like that. They did, but they paid for it with their life today.
Tragedy. Dave, thanks for your perspective, as always.